Teachers, students, and parents can all agree that there are a lot of problems with the American education system. Students aren't retaining the material they learn, and the system is inefficient.
We know the international competition. We know that as a nation we've fallen from first in the world to ninth in college graduates. As I look across the globe and look at the competition we're facing, places like South Korea, where the president of South Korea talks to President Obama, and President Obama asks President of South Korea, what's your biggest educational challenge? This is a very high-achieving nation. He says, my biggest challenge are my parents in South Korea are too demanding. And even my poorest parents demand a world-class education. We wish we had those kinds of challenges here.
The nation fully recognized this problem in 2001 when an international test administered by the PISA organization ranked the American schools to be well below the level of most developed countries' schools. The Obama administration has also recognized this issue and is trying to make steps to bring America's schools up to the first world standard with its new program, Race to the Top. The new program is supposed to make American educational policies more like South Korea's. South Korea's school system, which has consistently ranked among the top 3 by the PISA for best educational systems in the world, is praised by Obama for its successes.
I stayed in Seoul at the Harvard-like university. So I was on that campus where only 1% gets admitted to.
We asked her about her personal perspective of the Korean education system.
I also have had several students from Korea that are now here, and the students I've talked to are very happy that they are not anymore in that high-pressure cooker education system.
The problem with the American education system is not that students aren't doing enough work. European students do far less work than American students, but they still score much higher on the PISA. The first problem is that school in America has turned into a teens' social hub. In America, it is hard for students to see exactly what's important in their education. Mark Tobin, a math and engineering teacher at Northgate, explained to us how other countries much more decisively separate social life and education.
You guys in the US work way harder than I ever did in an Irish school, because you got music, you got sports, it's mental. Whereas in Europe it's like you've got your school, and then they have study sessions at the end of a day, and then really your homework shouldn't take more than an hour and a half in high school. Then you go home, you relax, then you go play your sports. Well, here it's okay, forget about your homework. You're going to leave school early, 45 minutes early, whether it's jazz or whatever you're going to do. Then you're going to spend 2 or 3 hours with us, you're going to perform. Then you can go home and do your homework. Nice job. That's me.
Just hear it straight from this Northgate student.
How much homework do you have on average, would you say?
Like hour-wise?
Yeah.
4 hours a day, probably.
Do you do after-school activities?
Yeah. I do choir and drama.
Does that take a lot of time?
It does. It takes up like 3 hours per day.
Does school make you stressed?
Oh yeah, definitely. The expectations that school puts on students is a lot. Socially, academically, school should be a place where it should be a comfortable learning environment to learn, instead of a place where most of our stress, it's a source of most of my stress and anxiety.
In the US, teaching is one of the easiest majors possible. Standards are very low, and it's no wonder that teachers are paid so poorly. Teachers in the US don't have the respect of the community. Schools don't do a sufficient job of preparing students for university, and they don't do any better preparing students for the labor force either.
We have to go and think about our students are the future of a country. And if I look into Silicon Valley, how many of our California educated students actually have a 6 or 7 figure income being employed in Silicon Valley? And I think then we're going to see that a lot of those 6 and 7 figure incomes are from people who have been educated outside of the United States or California.
Lastly, education in America is as far as possible from standardization. A high school diploma here means nothing, because each high school has vastly different requirements for everything.
So every school district is their own little kingdom, and every school district can set their own requirements. So for example, let's say we here at Northgate have a 2-hour final at every end of the grade. And in Germany we have the Abitur, where students get the same test, and those exams also get graded by about 3 different teachers. While I will go and tell you that if I go and grade a final here, there's nobody going to go and check if I graded. So as you can see, it is here so much more individualized what you do that I think even our high schools in Mount Diablo Unified have different rigors.
Do you think that is a good thing?
No, because for me it is really important that we provide equal access to quality education. And why should a zip code determine what kind of quality education you receive?
America is not the only country with educational problems, but most other first world countries seem to have achieved much better methods. After doing extensive research here in California, we found that the country with the best public education system in the world is Finland. All students in Finland are provided free education through university, and they consistently outperform all other public school systems in the world. In order to fully understand how the Finnish school system is so successful, we traveled to Finland to personally experience a Finnish classroom and talk to both the teachers and students that are a part of this great system of learning.
Stäng av allt. Ställ laptop så ligger ner dem i handbagaget och passera handbagaget.